Often people with OCD are shown to be washing their hands all the time. But there are many ways that compulsions can show up for people with OCD. In some cases, you won't even be able to see the compulsions that people do. In this video, we're going to break down the many different categories of compulsions that people can have. But first, my name is Keegan. I have a master's degree in counseling, and I'm a licensed professional counselor. I make videos like this to help you better understand various concepts in the world of psychology, counseling, and mental health. Keep in mind that engaging with this channel does not constitute a therapist-client relationship. This content is for educational and entertainment purposes. This does not substitute or replace professional mental health care. Before we talk about the specific categories of compulsions, let's talk about them in a broader sense. In this case, we're talking about compulsions related to Obsessive-Compulsive Disorder, or OCD. Keep in mind that for people with OCD, they're going to struggle with obsessions, compulsions, or both. With compulsions, these are behaviors, acts, or thoughts that a person feels that they must do. The compulsions will typically give the person some temporary relief from anxiety or fear that they're feeling. However, the compulsions can be excessive, time-consuming, and bothersome. Compulsions are usually something people feel that they have to do in response to an obsession. However, they can also be done as part of a mental rule the person might have. In this video, we're going to break down the 7 categories of compulsions that we often see, which are based on the Yale-Brown Obsessive-Compulsive Scale, which is the gold standard for assessing for OCD. The first category of compulsions are those related to cleaning and washing. These might include things like washing in a very ritualistic manner, where the person might feel that they have to wash their hands or their body in a very specific way. Oftentimes, if this is interrupted, the person will have to start over again. These rituals could also include other similar acts, such as brushing their teeth, grooming, or going to the bathroom. In some cases, people might clean excessively to remove germs. And sometimes when this is the case, even if they were to spend hours cleaning their countertops with bleach, they still may believe that the countertops are contaminated with germs. For some with these compulsions, they may have to wear gloves to avoid any contamination from germs or chemicals. It's important to note that with cleaning and washing compulsions, it's not uncommon for people to have washed to the point where they may have red skin or cracked skin because of the amount of time and force that they put into washing. Checking compulsions are the second category. With these, people may have to compulsively check that they did not harm themselves or somebody else. As part of this, they may seek reassurance, such as having to call or text or check in with people to make sure that nobody was harmed. For some, they might fear that they caused a serious accident or tragedy of some sort, and therefore they may check the radio, the news, social media, to make sure that there isn't some sort of a disaster that happened that was their fault. It's not uncommon for people with checking compulsions to have to do things like check the stove, the iron, coffee pot, or other appliances, and sometimes even the locks of the doors. It's not uncommon for them to feel that if they don't check these appliances, they may cause a fire, or if they don't check the locks on the doors, somebody might get in and rob them. Oftentimes, they will repeatedly check these things before they leave the house. Third are repeating compulsions. This could include something like rereading or rewriting things. For example, some people may end up reading one page of a book for hours. In other cases, people may feel that they have to find the perfect word. Within this category, some people may have to repeat things that they do on a daily basis. This might include turning the light switch on and off, combing their hair, or opening and closing the blinds. When people have repeating compulsions, they may have to do them a specific number of times, or in other cases, they may have to do them until they're just right or until they feel as though they've done them the correct number of times or in the correct way. Counting compulsions are the fourth category. As the name suggests, this category deals with things that involve compulsively counting. It might be counting the number of tiles on the floor, the number of pictures on the wall, or in some cases even the grains of sand on a beach. Counting compulsions may go along with others like repeating or washing compulsions. We have 3 more categories to cover. But first, if you're enjoying this video and finding it helpful, please help me out by giving it a like and subscribing. The 5th category is for compulsions related to ordering and arranging. This could be straightening pillows on a bed, cups on a shelf, or another item like that. In some cases, people can perform these compulsions for hours, and it's not uncommon for them to be extremely upset or disturbed when that item is then moved. Hoarding and collecting compulsions are the 6th category. When people have these compulsions, they might save things like old newspapers, used bottles, or candy wrappers. That said, there can be a wide variety of items that a person might have these compulsions with. They will often worry that they might need these items in the future and therefore will not throw them away. In some cases, people might even pick up items off the side of the street or pick them out of a garbage can. The 7th and last category is a miscellaneous category for other compulsions that don't fit into the previous ones we've discussed. This might include mental compulsions, where a person may feel as though they have to do things mentally. This could include doing something like having to think a good thought to undo a bad thought. They may also do other things like count in their mind. There's other compulsions in this category as well that are not necessarily mental. This might include things like having to tap or touch an object. For some people, this might even include having to touch a hot stove. Superstitious compulsions also fit into this category. This might include things like not staying in a hotel room because it's room number 13, which they view as an unlucky number. Another type of compulsion is called trichotillomania, which is hair pulling. For people with this compulsion, they may pull out the hair on their head, eyebrows, eyelashes, genitals, or other body hair. And they may do this to the point that they have bald spots or have completely removed the hair. As I mentioned in the video about obsessions, this is not a full list of compulsions either. That said, this was a general overview of the 7 different categories that are typically discussed with compulsions. Hopefully this will give you a better sense of the variety of ways that people with OCD could struggle with compulsions. That brings us to the end of this video. I hope that you found it helpful. While you're here, make sure that you check out some of the other videos on my channel. Thank you so much for watching.